Hey guys, welcome to Juicy Tea, where I read out the best stories on Reddit, so you don't have to. The funny, shocking, and satisfyingly juicy. Today, I effed up my proposal, posted by unknown guest user. This morning, I decided to surprise my girlfriend with a proposal in bed. Not the most original or romantic approach I know. Initially, the plan was to pop the question over dinner last night, but alas, the build-up towards the big question got the better of me. However, today I woke up determined to do what needed to be done. So, there I was on one knee next to my girlfriend's side of the bed, waiting for her to open her eyes and see me holding the ring. The moment I attempted to wake her up, she groaned and rolled over, leaving me with nothing to look at but the back of her head. My heart was beating hard enough to hear. I leaned over my girlfriend and gently tapped her on the shoulder. Instead of waking up like a normal person, she hissed in her sleep like an effing vampire before elbowing me in the face. I stumbled back and dropped the ring. My girlfriend woke up in the commotion, and the first thing she saw was me bleeding from my nose. Not gonna lie, when she rushed over to comfort me, I flinched. The hissing thing she did scared the hell out of me. After all the drama died down, I managed to recover the ring without her noticing. Speaking of recover, my nose still hurts. Tonight, I'll try again. This time, I'll make sure to propose while my girlfriend is wide awake and still human. Too long didn't read. Attempted to surprise my girlfriend with a proposal in bed. But, little did I know, getting her to wake up required blood. My husband doesn't want to have intimacy with me, unless it's to conceive children. Our next post comes from the BestofRedditorUpdates subreddit, posted by NormalBottle641. I, 26 female, recently got married to my husband, Edward, 26 male, 2 months ago. We both attended the same church ever since we were born, and I started to like him over the years. At 20, we started gradually talking to each other, and got engaged at 24. My husband is very religious and never misses a single service. I too am religious, but not as much as him. We both respect each other's choice, but it's not really been an issue between us. However, when we were dating and engaged, he didn't come near me in any way. For example, we rarely held hands, and he never hugged me or kissed me on the cheeks, even though it's a common form of greeting in our culture. It bothered me a bit, but I thought that he was just doing it out of respect. The roller coaster that was our wedding night. During the ceremony, we danced for the first time. We held hands, and when we got to the hotel, we hugged and he kissed me for the first time on my lips. It wasn't like making out or anything, just a peck. That's it. Nothing else. We didn't do anything more. Not even cuddle. We just showered and went to sleep because we were extremely exhausted. Right when I was about to fall asleep, when we were talking, he told me he won't do anything unless it's to conceive children. I wasn't sure what to say, so I just remained silent and dozed off. This literally crushed my expectations. Of course, I understand if he doesn't want to do anything, but really? Not until we decide to have children, which would be a minimum of 2 years away. I love my husband with all my heart, and I would never leave him as he's the best, most respectful human being I've ever met, and an amazing person overall. But I can't seem to accept this. Ever since I was a teen, I've been addicted to Wattpad and spicy stories, so, of course, I've always dreamt of my wedding night. I tried to not have really high expectations because I knew it most likely wouldn't come to reality, but I never thought this could happen. I was disappointed for the rest of our honeymoon, which lasted a week. I know it's my fault for not talking to him about it, but I was really afraid to do so. You see, in our culture, it's not appropriate for women to talk about these things, nor initiate intimacy. Plus, Edward is religious, like I said, so I was afraid of him judging me if I did anything that he would consider unholy or whatever. I've even tried to seduce him for the past couple months, but he wouldn't look at me. Not in a mean way, but he would just laugh it off and give me a peck or something like that. It's really starting to bug me because I have a somewhat high drive and I really want to do things with him. I can't help it. I don't really know what the reason behind this is, and I don't know how to address the subject with him. Once again, I will not even consider leaving him, so please, all advice will be appreciated. Update. Hi, long story short, for the people who don't want to read the whole story, It turned out that my husband is embarrassed of himself and thought that it wasn't normal to feel aroused. So after posting yesterday, I was literally bombarded by hundreds of comments suggesting that Edward might be gay and be using me to cover up his sexuality. I wasn't ready at all for such a possibility, and it never even crossed my mind. Compared to other people from our community, we're one of the few who aren't homophobic, and we previously discussed our sexualities. I don't really want to get into this topic, but Edward was honest with me about being straight and said he can't picture himself being gay, religious or not. Besides, we both have online jobs, so we're together literally the whole time and have mutual friends, so I would quickly have noticed any suspicious behaviour. Today, I decided to confront him, like many of you suggested. I've been continuously repeating my script in my head and went for it. We were both chilling after having lunch, so I asked him if he wanted to talk about sex and intimacy. He said yes and was curious about what was bothering me. I was direct and simply asked him why won't he do anything with me unless it's for kids. Edward genuinely got surprised and was confused by my question. At that moment, I just wanted to disappear from this universe and evaporate. Because of the embarrassment, I can't recall exactly how the conversation went, but it turned out that he thought it wasn't normal to feel aroused around me, nor to have sex unless for procreation. I felt so bad for him. Apparently, that's what he grew up thinking, and that's what his friends and the environment he grew up in abused him into believing. I can't imagine why they did this to him. I'm sure it was to make fun of him, which led to completely messing up his view on sexual matters and desires. There's no way they also believe in this themselves. This conversation went on for a couple hours. I realised it must have been very hard for him to talk about this, so we had a rest from the subject and took a nap. After the nap, he apologised for not talking about this with me beforehand. We discussed many other things, including that his lack of showing affection to me before our wedding was due to his beliefs. And don't worry, we also talked about our wedding night. Basically, he got aroused every time he came near me, so he felt extremely ashamed of showing it or acting on it and thought I was just teasing him. He also didn't want to do something that could be considered bad according to what they fed his mind with. Not gonna lie, I expressed to him my resentment and the way he never asked my opinion on this matter. He apologised again and said he was afraid of what my reaction would be if he expressed himself. We tried to sort things out and promised that we'd start working on physical touch. Edward said he would never do anything to make me feel down ever again, and he will be always ready to answer any of my questions. This realisation was like a slap across the face to him, so I suggested going to therapy. He immediately agreed, and starting tomorrow, we will look for a therapist. Going on Reddit really wasn't the best idea, but it really gave me a push. Having this conversation was definitely something we should have done sooner, way back when we were engaged. Also, to everyone telling me to leave, just because the problem was about intimacy doesn't mean I'd leave him. Of course, if this had taken another turn, and I found out that he was cheating on me, or lying, I would have immediately divorced him without looking back. I know that intimacy is very important to couples and healthy relationships, but if Edward is not comfortable and has issues with this matter, I've no choice but to understand him. He's always been there for me and always shown me love and support, just not physically. So the least I could do is understand him and respect his boundaries. Until we talk everything out, I won't pressure him to do anything and would rather take things step by step. In the end, we cried together and laughed about ourselves. And then he made us some snacks and we watched our favourite TV show. Now, Edward is sleeping right next to me, closer than usual. I feel happy about it, even though it's not much, but it's definitely an improvement. I also feel much better than yesterday. Update 2. It's been a month since I last updated, and I have some good news. So, like I mentioned in my last update, we started looking for therapists and found some sort of centre a couple days ago. Basically, they're a group of therapists that specialise in different types of issues. So once we explained to them our situation, they assigned us to a couple therapist. She was very understanding of our situation, and we've had a few sessions with her which were very eye-opening. She navigated us through our emotions and basically was more like a consultant than a therapist. My husband was assigned to another therapist and has sessions with him twice a week. This wasn't just because of our issue. They also found out that my husband has some deep-rooted childhood traumas that he needs to work on. This journey will take him a couple months apparently, but it's something he definitely needs to do, so he's totally ready for it. As for our intimate life, our therapist advised us to show each other more affection before taking things slowly and watching some educational videos as references. So for a week, we showered each other with random hugs, kisses and cuddles, and this was really addictive. For Edward, it was really something new, and now he won't stop with the back hugs and it's really comforting. Then I started teasing him to take things to another level, like the therapist said, since Edward is still trying to build up the courage to do so himself. After a while, we made out for the first time. It felt super great, and from there we started getting touchy. We did this for like 2 weeks and got freakier each day. The videos were really helpful. We also took our first shower together and played around. All these little achievements made me so happy, and for the big thing, we finally made love 2 days ago. It was amazing. We took it really slowly, but both really enjoyed it. It felt like a different level of closeness, and I'm so proud of my husband for finally taking this step without feeling bad or guilty about it. Not only that, but we also went on a few dates as a change of routine and tried some new restaurants which I really love. Edward surprised me with my dream restaurant and we had a blast. Our communication is 10 times better than before, and it really feels like the wall that was standing between us is completely gone. There are so many things that we haven't tried, and we're really excited to explore them. I also told him about my smart obsession yesterday. I tried googling what that was, but came up empty. Anyone else know what this means? And he asked me to give him a list of fanfics that I really like so he can make them happen in real life. That was really so awesome. I still can't get over this. And lastly, since our honeymoon wasn't really a honeymoon, we're thinking of going on one this Christmas. I can't wait! By the way, to all the people that suggested using toys, we talked about it, but the therapist said it could be too early, and that Edward might get addicted to using toys if we use them at this early stage. So I guess we'll wait. Oh my god, this is so cute and wholesome! This is so not where I thought the story was going. I never even considered the fact that he might think it was wrong to have sex with his own wife. Remember, I post new content every day, so subscribe for more juicy tea.